right, if I can have everyone's attention, we will continue our availability. We are now joined by our 6-time NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion, Jimmie Johnson, driver of the number 48 Lowe's Chevrolet. You don't get tired of hearing that, do you?
No, this chair. I guess we are in California. Way back.
Jimmie has won 3 of the last 4 races. Racing in your home state this week, you've had a big week here in California. So talk a little bit about coming back to California and racing here at a road course for the first time this season.
Yeah, definitely excited to be back in California. We had 3 or 4 days down in the San Diego area and had an amazing experience on many levels. A very successful Jimmie Johnson Foundation golf tournament. We raised $650,000 that we will be able to distribute in Southern California, Oklahoma, then in the Charlotte area. We had a new venue at Torrey Pines and played their South Golf Course over there. So to have the views and the golf and the scenery and to know the history of golf on that course and watching some of those awesome battles myself, it made that experience all the sweeter. And then Tuesday, I guess it was, went back to El Cajon, and I knew we were having an event in El Cajon, but I had no idea it was going to be that big, and they were going to make so many amazing things happen. He made a guitar to the city instead of a key to the city, named it Jimmie Johnson Day. The senator was there, so it was for not only for El Cajon, but the whole state of California, and just a crazy experience, and fans were everywhere. I mean, I couldn't believe how many people showed up, so just an awesome experience. And I got up here yesterday, relaxing, enjoying this nice warm weather, and looking forward to some left and right-hand turns.
All right, we'll start with Claire, then go to Steve, then Doug.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Can you put fans behind the wheel, the elements that you think of and that you maybe that stand out to you as you race a road course like this? Bring it to life.
Yeah, this track is way different than anything we run on because of the elevation changes, and then how narrow the course is. Our cars are so big and heavy. We need a lot of real estate to slide our vehicles around. So it makes a huge challenge, and at the end of the day, the tires take all the abuse, and that's really the magic around here is, 1, developing a setup that's easy on the rear tires, and then 2, being patient with the car and not running the rear tires off of it. So hopefully we've got that magic, but there are blind corners where you crest a hill, and you're just looking off into the brown grass, or whatever that stuff is, hoping you've got the right angle. There's marks in the asphalt that you remember from past experiences here where another road ties in, and that's a braking reference point. And just a very cool track to make laps around. And many moments, on an oval, you probably have 3 to 4 moments that really get your attention. So corner entry, and then occasionally out by the wall. Here, with 11 corners around this track, every braking zone you're on edge, and then with it being so narrow, track out points, you're usually with your left sides in the dirt at least once around here a lap, so it makes for a fun lap.
Okay, we'll go to Steve, then Doug, then Tom.
Steve Richards with PRN. Obviously, Jimi Hendrick is going for, 6 wins in a row. What is the likelihood of that happening, and which driver do you think might be able to pull that off to get the job done? Here, it's been such a different race the last 5 or 6 years when you look at the winners. People you might not put into that road course ringer category, myself included. I mean, I've won Mart, Clint, Casey Kane was in there at some point, more traditional oval guys. So I think this is the hardest race to pick yet. And then when you add the fuel strategy that typically plays in, that shakes it up as well. I think all 4 of our Hendrick cars will be capable of it, and we certainly want to keep the streak alive. But I can't pick a favorite here, or I could probably pick a favorite, but I don't think there's a safe bet on a winner. I think there's 20, 25 cars that could win here.
Okay, we'll go Doug, then Tom, then Alan.
Doug Rice, PRN. Jimmie, I followed Jimmie Johnson Day through social media and saw that there was a lot of things going on as you addressed. Out of all the accolades, having a street named after you, Jimmie Johnson Day, was there sort of a boom confetti moment for you, something that sticks out more than others?
I guess the moment would have been leaving and kind of getting back on the interstate and driving out of there with all that took place. We all know you go back home, the memories come up in your mind, and you think of, what happened here, what went on there, and all these stories start to emerge in your mind. So to have that feeling of being back home and then to leave the the event, with all that they gave me and the huge fan support, friends that were in attendance, old school teachers. A lot of my friends, their parents are still in El Cajon, and they made a trip out and faces I hadn't seen in 20 years. So that leaving there and to feel the pride that El Cajon has for what I've done on the track and the respect they paid me, that all tied into driving out of there and had a very cool moment.
Okay, go ahead with your question, Tom.
Hi, Jimmy. Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. What do you expect in qualifying? This is our first road course qualifying under the new setup. Are you guys doing a lot of back and forth strategizing and trying to figure out what do you do? What do you think?
Yeah, this track has a high wear aspect, so I think keeping the laps down is going to be key, especially to get the pole. The variable that we can't control is cars on their out lap and cars on their in lap, and that's going to be tricky. And we do it in practice, and we're able to accommodate each other and take care of things. So hopefully everybody's plenty polite, and the spotters are on top of it, sending word down where a fast car is.
Okay, next question, Alan.
Alan Cavana, NASCAR.com. Jimmy, there are a lot of drivers who have won here or who can win here that don't have wins yet this year. Do you start thinking about their desperation level, if you will, and would you want to know if they're behind you or be reminded they're behind you?
Yes, I mean, restarts, I think we know that there's going to be chaos. In 7 and 11, you go in there and you just put your head against the back of the headrest waiting to get drilled from behind. Once you get spread out and get going, this track, once you get through the opening lap or two, we get spread out, and it's really an individual race. You're challenging yourself in your car and just get in that zone and go. But restarts just breed so much chaos around here. So no one's safe. I mean, I've seen guys in 8th or 10th pull out a line to pass and wheel hop and clean out the guy in 2nd or 3rd. So there's nowhere safe on this track on restarts.
Okay, guys, we're going to get to as many questions as we can, but there's no way that we're going to get to everybody that has raised their hand today. So we're doing them in order as you raised your hand. So we'll go to Jeff right now and then go to Tom up front. Okay, go ahead, Jeff. Gluck, did you have a... Okay. Do you want to pass to Tom? Okay. Holly? Holly's the next one.
She's even sprinting.
I feel a lot of pressure on this question. Holly Kane, NASCAR.com. Jimmy, and you kind of alluded to it with that, with your last answer, but could you talk about the aggressive nature? Several drivers are like, now racing on road courses, it's almost like a short track. You've got guys dive bombing, and could you just talk about how the level of aggression has stepped up over the years?
Yeah, it's when there's only a couple passing zones on the entire track. Everybody up and down the line is trying to set up a pass. So that there are moments where you've worked hard and been patient and you're making your move and you don't realize that the car behind you has set up a move on you, or maybe in the process of getting alongside someone you've slowed down your kind of section of the road, and now everybody back behind you is thinking, well, I can go 3 wide, 4 wide, or the line stops too quick, just like in bumper-to-bumper traffic. All of a sudden the line stops too quick and the person 4th or 5th in line, just the reaction time isn't there, and pow, you've got you turned somebody around. So it's wild, and I think what aggravates most is the blocking, and then after a restart or two or a few laps of blocking, you gotta make that decision. Are you going to tolerate it or are you going to send them? And it's turned into sending them lately.
Okay, we'll go upstairs for a quick question.
No questions.
Oh, okay, everybody's passing. Go ahead, right there in the middle.
Hey, Jimmy. Phil Barber from the Santa Rosa Press, Democrat. I think it's been a while since Jeff Gordon came to his home course with a points lead in the standings. What's been the difference for Jeff and his team and crew, you think, this year?
Honestly, I think they've been finishing where they've been running. And the last 2, 3, 4 years, it seems like fast cars, laps led, running well, but not the finishes that we'd hope that he would have, or that he would hope he'd have based on the first half of the race or something. So they're finishing off the races, which there's been small mechanical issues, some bad luck. That stuff has seemed to kind of fade away, fortunately.
Okay, we'll take our next question up here, up front.
Brock Beard, NASCAR. only 3 drivers since 2004 have run every Cup race since then and not finished last, and 2 of them are Hendrick drivers right now, yourself and Casey Kane. Can you comment briefly on the importance of the durability of Hendrick Motorsports equipment and how important it is, particularly at a road course?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is important, and I think championships probably speak more to durability than kind of that finishing stat. In some cases, I wish I would have been 43rd so I could have gone home earlier. Didn't have to ride around and finish 42nd. You know, that stat speaks more to the guys getting the car fixed. And I think all these crew members, you know, they're supposed to delicately work on the race car and take care of it. And then when there's crash damage, I mean, they're looking for the biggest hammer and the biggest saw and just looking forward to cutting stuff up and trying to get you back out. So, and I've got a group of guys that love to swing hammers and run saws. So, you know, they do a nice job of getting us back on the road. Yeah.
Final question in the back. Go ahead.
Hi, Natasha Lee from Fox 40. On a track like this, how important are your spotters?
They're very important for sure. I think awareness inside the car is also important. A lot of us come from a form of racing where you didn't have spotters. There seems to be a lot less incidents when you're aware of your surroundings and not solely relying on spotters. But you know, good awareness in the car is important here as well.
Jimmie, thank you very much for your time. Good luck this weekend.